Yo, so just got done checking out some houses. Now we're hanging out at my buddy Dennis's house. Dennis. Thanks for having us over. But Jesse Gold is one of the top young loan officers in the city. We're actually both 26, graduated in 2016.
Yes, sir.
Jesse, I mean, you're in the business. Why don't you tell everyone about what you do, what makes you a good loan officer?
So being in the business, right now is obviously a very fun time with record low interest rates. Francis took me to a couple properties today, most of which have tax abatements. So the exciting thing for me is being at this young age, being able to reach out to friends, family in a similar age bracket who are, able to kind of leverage whatever assets they have and buy something beautiful like this, which is an asset that could repay them for, years to come. And you get a little bit of a thrill helping someone kind of build that portfolio to a degree.
So what are you looking for in terms of buying? You're renting right now. What flipped the switch, and why are you thinking, hey, let's go buy?
So between the interest rates, the tax abatements in the city, I also feel you get such a great bang for your buck here. So I ran some numbers before coming out here today. All in for this house, you're probably around 2,300. I live in an 875 square foot apartment right now, 2 bed, 2 bath, paying $2,300. That $2,300 is going to someone else's pocket right now, as opposed to building equity in a property and kind of setting myself up for maybe my next purchase down the road, and allowing me to kind of leverage the equity that I built in this house to essentially buy my next house as well.
So what I take away from that is, you're 800 square foot, you're paying $2,300 a month, or you could go buy, put 3% down, and you can buy a $500,000 house, and running your numbers, $2,300 a month. And I mean, the houses that we were looking at should be able to lease at like $2,700-$2,800 in Fishtown.
Yeah, I mean, the concept, at least my concept, and it may not be for everyone, but you have a roommate or two to either reduce your monthly output or cover your entire monthly output, and you're kind of living for free, while all the while continuing to kind of build that equity within the property, and being able to have a true investment that kind of will provide some value in return, as opposed to, again, giving that money to your landlord month in, month out. That's really not providing any asset to you, and it's not allowing you to really build anything of value.
So just you personally as a loan officer, I feel like there's a lot of guys out there who you kind of hear like marginal things. Someone fucked up my loan, someone's slow to respond. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about you, and a couple of our agents have done work with you and have had nothing but great things to say. What would you say separates you from, I'd say, your average, mortgage loan officer?
Honestly, I mean, I'd like to think, the saying is your best ability is availability. I do this, yes, it's a job, but it's also a hobby in a sense. So I enjoy the real estate market. I enjoy crunching numbers and trying to figure out ways to make, sometimes a square hole fit into what's the saying? A round hole.
Round peg fit into a square hole,
yeah,
and just
so
make it happen.
Exactly. There's different products out there that you have the ability to take advantage of. But honestly, it's just like availability. And the one thing that I've learned from other folks within the industry is if you care, it will kind of show within your work. So like when I take on a new client, we kind of talk about their whole entire scenario, what their goals are, as opposed to them just being a dollar sign to me and another person that I'm trying to close and get into a property. So I think just being available for people, trying to make them feel comfortable throughout the process. So buying a home, me, myself right now going through it, even though that I'm in the industry, it's still an intimidating process. But I feel like when you're able to work with someone who's willing to kind of take the time, explain things to you in a manner that you now understand the process and maybe why they're requesting that document, or why you have to make this payment at this time, or why you shouldn't have your credit pulled throughout the process. It's just little things like that I feel like consumers start to feel a little bit more comfortable with you if you're able to kind of give them that baseline of knowledge of this is the reason as to why we're requesting these things. This is what the process is going to look like for you. Again, as opposed to just kind of looking at them as like, hey, how can I get them in and out my door as soon as possible so that I get money in my bank account, which is not really the end goal for me. I mean, I feel like if you put the client first, the money will kind of follow, as opposed to putting the money first. So that would be my biggest 2 cents.
And lastly, you can take 5 seconds on this. You could have worked with any, real estate agent, real estate team in Philly. Why did you choose, to start this process with Advanced Philly and Ilana and myself?
So honestly, I had the privilege to kind of speak to the Advanced Philly team a couple months ago, saw the work that they've done. I see some of the houses that they're putting some younger folks like myself into, and I think that as a unit, they have really, really nice camaraderie. They make me feel at least very comfortable throughout the process. But I just wanted to work with people, not to be ageist or anything in that regard, but people, a little bit on the younger scale, but at the same time, like very respected in the industry, very professional, and very, very knowledgeable.
Thanks for coming on YouTube. YouTube, please like, subscribe to my channel, and have a great week.